with so much going on in the food space, everybody wants to know what's the best food to eat in terms of plant-based, healthy living. But oftentimes we don't think about what we're cooking our food in. So in today's video, we're gonna be unboxing a Caraway 2-piece set and seeing if it lives up to the hype and just checking out all the new features. So let's get right into this video. Hey guys, this is Trudy Genius here from The Genius Life, and we are going to be unboxing the Saute pot as well as the saucepan from Caraway. This video is in collaboration with Caraway, so definitely check out all the information down below. I'm going to be leaving a 10% discount code, so don't miss out. That is going to be valid for 2 weeks, specifically 14 days, so make sure you check that out. All right, let's go. This one is probably the saucepan. So this is like your rice pot, your pasta pot. So it comes beautifully with the Caraway logo on the front, and the website is on the back side. You can see right there. It does have a picture of the saucepan right there so you can see what is inside. So let's open it up. So as soon as you open it up, it says you're one step closer to cleaner cooking at Caraway_home. So that's pretty nice. I like to see that they are, you know, very non-toxic friendly, not only in what's in the pot and how the pot's made, but also with, you know, their whole branding and everything. So it does come with this protector. I believe this is for making sure the lid doesn't press against the box. So let's open this up. It's in a nice sack, and this should be the lid of the saucepan. Wow, it's very heavy, you guys. I mean, it's a good weight. You know, a lot of times you buy pots from like Home Goods and Marshalls, and it doesn't have that thickness to it. Another thing I already see that I like is there is a hole on the top of the lid that I'm sure is for releasing pressure when you're cooking. So that's very important. So let's put that to the side and put the sack to the side. Okay, so now there's a protective cardboard box that comes above. All right. I'm already liking the fact that it's very well protected, the way that they, you know, package everything. And as far as I'm seeing, there's no plastic or any unsustainable materials used in the packaging, which is really nice to see as well. So one of my main things with cooking is pots that stick and leach chemicals and toxic materials into your food. But looky here, we do have a heat protector. So when you want to put your hot pot, maybe like on the counter, you can always put it on this, and that way it doesn't burn the surface. So that's really nice. Well done cookware is rare. We're on a mission to craft well-designed non-toxic ceramic cookware that is thoughtfully raising the standards of what you cook with. It does give you like carrying instructions, which they really focus on, even when they were sending this out to me, making sure that you're not, you know, stacking the pots into each other, because that can scratch it, making sure that you're not cooking with high temperatures. So we'll talk about all of that. So that is what's here, and it also has a warranty. Okay, so first impressions, this is a solid pot. I'm used to like a little bit more like thinner, not as like sturdy pots, but like when you hold this, it reminds you of like back in the day, like your grandmother's Dutch oven, but just smaller, you know, like it's a hefty pot. So that is really nice to see, because I feel like for a long time, manufacturers weren't really making pots like that, at least the ones that I was coming across. Now, when you just kind of like run your hand in the pot itself, it is very smooth. You know, of course, this is the first impression, you guys, so we're gonna test it out. The pot color itself is sage. So the lid is sage, and that covers perfectly. And that's how the bottom looks. Like I said, it's pretty hefty, and you wanna make sure that when you're picking it up and moving it from burner to burner, you're not dragging it, because they do say that will damage it, and that's something I do sometimes, so I'm gonna take heed. So let's move on to the saute pan. So when you purchase the whole set online, you're actually gonna get storage organization for your pots. So that means they actually give you these little slots where you can like organize your pot in a way where you're not gonna be stacking it into other pots. And that helps you to keep it, you know, safe from any scratches or anything like that. But I guess when you purchase it separately, then that doesn't come, you know, with it. So, all right, so again, we have that protective circle cardboard, making sure nothing gets scratched. And we have the same sage color in the saute pan. So I'm really excited about having matching cookware. And of course, the sack that is not plastic. So that is really awesome. Now these pots are non-stick. They have non-Teflon, non-PFOA, all those harmful chemicals that can often leach into your food is not in this. So even if you do scratch it, you don't have to worry about having any harmful chemicals leach into your food, which I'm really excited about, because for a long time, I felt very insecure about even my stainless steel, you know, because the thing is, it's made with aluminum, these stainless steel pots. So I'm really excited to see that I don't have to worry about that. Now, the outside is made with aluminum. As you can see, this covers fully, and it also has that little hole for any pressure, you know, that makes sure that your food can breathe and it can cook evenly. So what I love about, you know, the marketing with Caraway is that it does say that we can use this on an induction, a stovetop, like a gas stovetop, and an electric stove. So I do have an induction stove currently. So, you know, oftentimes when you do buy ceramic pots, which I have in the past, the coating will kind of like burn off and it will start to get really stuck on. Like anything you cook will start to get really stuck on. So that's one thing you have to be very careful about with ceramic pots. So you can't cook anything to, you know, like a high heat, anything above 550 degrees, it's a no-go. I love the fact that you can use it on all different stovetops. So no matter which one you have, you can use it. Now, let us do a measurement. Okay, so it seems like the inside is about 10 or so inches. So that's a good amount of surface area. And then the outer circumference is just 12 feet exactly. So it's 1 foot in like diameter. And the inside of the saute pan is a 10-inch work surface. So that's a really good amount of space. Let's go ahead and try out the saucepan to see how big that is. I would definitely use this for boiling stews and things like that, as well as pasta and rice. So the inside is 6.5 inches, it seems, and the outer diameter is 8 inches. So it seems like it's about 2 inches wider than the interior for most of their pots. So now I'm gonna actually do a cooking test. I'm gonna be making a delicious stew with millet and greens, maybe asparagus, we're still deciding. So definitely head over to the Genius Recipes YouTube channel, which is linked with this channel, to see how that came out. But we will be including clips in this video so you can see how much it lives up to the hype. So let's get into my first impressions of how the saute pan as well as the saucepan performed when I cooked in them. Okay, number one, I love the fact that this is non-toxic and non-stick ceramic. Reason being is because the fact that it's non-toxic, it seems to kind of cook different. Like, I can't really explain it. You kind of just have to experience it. But it seems like the food is retaining more structure. Like, I even noticed that the potatoes are more held together, even though they've simmered, like they're held together in that perfect cube, as opposed to a lot of times I do cook potatoes, they kind of like deform. Of course, maybe that's because I cook them longer, but this cooked perfectly to the point where I could still have that nice cube and it's fully cooked through. So that leads me to my next point, that it's easy to cook in and the food evenly cooks. So as I just mentioned, I found that everything just kind of simmered completely from one side all the way to the other side. As opposed to my other pots, I would sometimes have to maneuver the pot to a different position, maybe even turn it completely around in order to cook everything evenly, because one side would be cooking faster than the other. And at one point I was like, okay, this stove is the problem. But now that I've tried Caraway's pot, I don't know, y'all, I think this is it. Okay, so that was number 2 pro. Okay, number 3, I love that the handles don't overheat, because I'm always burning myself with my other pots, especially my cast iron pot, because the heat just transfers all the way from the bottom all the way to the handle. So it just burns me every single time if I forget to use, you know, one of those mittens. However, with Caraway, as long as you cook it on low to medium, you should be pretty good. Now, if you go a little bit like a smudge above medium, we'll talk about what happens in my cons. But in general, it seems to really do a great job at keeping those handles nice and cool so you don't burn yourself. Okay, number 4 is I love the fact that it comes with that heating pad. So oftentimes I cook and I want to just set everything out in a buffet style, but maybe I'm not going to transfer everything to like a Pyrex dish or glass container. It's really nice that Caraway actually gives us these cork heating protectors where you can put the pot directly on your countertop, on your table, and don't worry about anything getting damaged. Your tabletop is gonna be perfectly fine. Easy cleanup. I love the fact that because this is a non-stick pot and it's ceramic, you literally just need soap and water. Like if you are frying, which they don't recommend high heat with using this pan, so you might not want to do too much crazy frying, but if you are frying, maybe you might have to do a little bit of scrubbing, which they do give you care instructions to like use a Brillo pad or something like that to make sure that it's gonna evenly get rid of any stuck on stains. But I would recommend if you do get anything stuck on, just soak it for like a little bit, like 10, 20, 30 minutes. Hot water, soap, everything should come right off. It's so non-stick that literally all you need is a sponge, warm water, and soap. Okay, now to my con. So you remember how I mentioned that the handles don't overheat? Well, if you do go a little bit above medium in terms of your temperature gauge when you're cooking, your handles will start to get a little hot. Like specifically the shorter handle on the Saute pan. The saucepan is really not so bad. I was actually still able to maneuver it around, but if I wanted to pick it up, I would actually have to use a mitten. So yeah, just be cautious if you are going to go a little bit above medium heat, you might have some overheating with the handles. And my last con is that it takes a while to heat up the pan initially. And I think that's because it's a very thick and sturdy pan. So even like whether it's a saucepan or the Saute pan, they're just really hefty pans, right? They're ceramic, number 1, and they're also made with like very sturdy handles. So it makes sense that it takes a while and you don't want to just blast it up to high heat. So I do start with like a low to medium temperature and then I adjust from there, because oftentimes once it heats up, you can even put it down a little bit lower if you're simmering. So that's my only con right now. What I will be doing is as I cook with this throughout the next couple of months, I will be writing down my notes and let you guys know what I think as I continue to use it in the future. But as of now, I would 100% recommend Caraway if you're looking for a non-toxic, non-stick pan option for your kitchen. One bonus thing is that I love that Caraway is actually very conscious of aesthetically looking pieces. Oftentimes you buy a pan or pot, it just looks like a pot. But when you get Caraway, you almost feel like you got a new decor piece in your kitchen. So I love that bonus fact. All right, so that is it for my impressions. Let me know down below what you think. Would you actually try out Caraway? And make sure you guys check the link in the bio. I have a link to purchase it. You can get 10% off if you actually purchase this in the next 14 days. Let me know what you think and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.